When sex offenders are released from prison, as you would imagine, there are layers and there are steps to make sure that offender is not going to be a threat to us. Past lawmakers carefully thought out public safety concerns and then put a plan in place. But tonight, our 4 Investigates team exposes the state has been breaking its own laws by skipping a very crucial step, a step designed to provide oversight over those sex offenders. Here's 4 Investigator Chris Ramirez.
New Mexico is home to thousands of sex offenders, many of them fresh out of prison on supervised probation. Yes, they are registered, and yes, they are tracked. But our investigation reveals that a critical piece of oversight is missing when a sex offender is released from custody. And this problem has been happening for more than 2 years now. You see, when a sex offender is released, he will be on supervised probation for at least 5 years. By state law, a judge must review the terms of that probation. Those reviews have not been happening. Is there a public safety threat in our community if we're not getting this review?
Well, there's a risk that the person should be under more intensive supervision than the judge originally ordered, and the judge would see reasons why that would be so and make a change. So it's possible, yes.
A judge needs to hear how the offender has responded to treatment or what the likelihood is of that offender reoffending. Only a judge has the authority to make an assessment about the degree of supervision a sex offender has after he's been released from custody. But those assessments have not been happening all across the state for years. The administrative office of the court says there has been a breakdown in communication between the prison system and the court system.
That it's important to have long-term follow-up for folks convicted of sex offenses. And it's in the public interest to make sure that that determination is made actual. And it's a simple way for us to be sure that judges are looking at the folks who've been released from prison and following up on them so that their conditions can be adjusted appropriate to whatever circumstances develop once the offender is released.
It is entirely possible that recently released convicted sex offenders are on probation plans that are not keeping the public safe. But no one will ever know because a judge has not checked the plans. The state recognizes this is a problem, and there is a solution already in the works. It's a solution backed by the state Supreme Court. It's in the form of a proposed law that would require the state prison system to notify the court system once a sex offender has been released.
Because we need to ensure that the system works the way it's supposed to and that we keep families across New Mexico safe.
Representative Michaela Cadena from Las Cruces is sponsoring a bill that creates that reporting mechanism.
I want the system to work the way it's designed to work, and when someone has a sex offender status and is on supervised probation, it's really important that we review whether there's been any rehab in the case of this sex offender, or frankly, if they continue to potentially be a danger to myself and families across New Mexico. So this review hearing is the way that we come back to the court system, review what's in front of us, review what's happened over this time period, and decide whether or not continued supervision is warranted. Representative
Cadena believes the state should follow its own laws and close the loophole that is putting New Mexico families at risk. Chris Ramirez, 4 Investigates.